Welcome back from the break. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. The verdict of the northeastern states of Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh is out. Counting, of course, revealed that in Arunachal Pradesh, it was a big win for the BJP. In Sikkim, of course, it was a big win for the SKM. 10 BJP candidates in Arunachal were elected unopposed earlier. Of course, counting was held for 50 out of 60 assembly seats. The BJP has won now 46 seats out of 60. The BJP's ally, Conrad Sangma's National People's Party, has won 5 seats, even though the NPP, of course, let me just remind our viewers, contested separately in this state of Arunachal. In Arunachal Pradesh, the Congress has won 1 seat and the NCP has won 3 seats. The People's Party of Arunachal has won 2 seats in the assembly. Joining us to decode this verdict of the people of Arunachal Pradesh is Rungri Nabam, State General Secretary of the NPP. We also have Dr. Suvro Kamal Datta, political analyst, joining us live. Manasvi Thapar, political analyst, is also live with us on the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Rungri Nabam. Mr. Nabam, how do you view this verdict of the people of Arunachal Pradesh? It's a stupendous performance for the BJP. Not so great for the NPP, but still, you bettered your tally from the last election. Your seat count has actually risen from 2019. How do you view this verdict? What is your first reaction? Mr. Nabam, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some technical trouble there with this connection. Manasvi Thapar, come in here. Manasvi Thapar, this is a setback for the opposition, isn't it? Big BJP win in Arunachal Pradesh, Manasvi.
Obviously, it's a setback for the opposition. There's no doubt about it. And I think since last 10 years, they have been learning. They have been understanding Atma Chintan, Manu Manthan they are doing, but somehow they are not coming up for them. And it's more than the setback. I think the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's wave is something which every election opposition is underestimating, and somehow he's overcoming everything. And I think the love for him and the kind of support he's getting, I have not seen any prime minister has got this kind of connect with the people which he enjoys. So I think it's more of his win over a loss of the opposition. It is about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's excellent performance here as per the exit poll, and I feel the exit is going to be the exact result on 4th.
Let me bring in Dr. S.K. Datta as well. Dr. S.K. Datta, pro-incumbency vote for Pema Khandu, pro-incumbency vote for the BJP in Arunachal Pradesh. What do you make of it? What's the reason?
It is both pro-incumbency for the sitting CM, and on top of that, the great achievement of the double-engine Sarkar. It is a combination of both. Like, I have my allegiance from northeastern part of India. I was born in Guwahati. So I understand the dynamics of Northeast very well. And I understand as to how alienated the people of Northeast used to feel before 2014, and how they have been, brought into the mainstream by the Honorable Prime Minister. The Honorable Prime Minister, since the day one from 2014, had advocated Lucist policy, Indo-Pacific, and Arunachal, together with the other states of Northeast, is definitely the gateway to Indo-Pacific. The level of development which has taken place in Arunachal is something which is unseen. I have never seen this kind of development in the past. I have been to Arunachal on very many occasions. Even before the election, I was there. I could feel the pulse of the people there. There was no kind of a scenario in which the opposition could at all understand the reality. There was such a strong undercurrent for the incumbent government as well as for Prime Minister Modi ji, that the whole opposition got disseminated in this undercurrent. Having said that, since I'm from that part of the country, if you permit me, I'll just say a single sentence in the local language.
Yes.
সবকত বহুত বহুত ধন্যবাদ আৰু বাধাই ইমান বঢ়িয়া ভাৰ্ডিক্টৰ কাৰণে এটো ডাবল ইঞ্জিন সৰকাৰৰ কাৰণেই হৈছে আৰু আগতেও আৰু বহুত ডেভেলপমেন্ট হ'ব। Now let me come to the basic reality. What was the situation in Arunachal in the past? In the past, because Arunachal is a border state, whenever China used to rack up the issue of Arunachal, saying it that it's a disputed territory and it's a part of South Tibet, the incumbent government at the center that time of Dr. Manmohan Ji of UPA never is to utter a word. It is to surrender very meekly before the Chinese dispensation. The moment in 2014 Prime Minister Modi ji came into power, the Prime Minister said it in a very, very categorical way that Arunachal is a part and parcel of India and nothing can transfer this. A plethora of visit of several ministers from the NDA cabinet had also shown the direction. Not only that, His Excellency, the Honorable Dalai Lama, was also taken into Arunachal Pradesh by the NDA, and the way he was showcased, that itself had kind of a tripling effect on the local population. And for the first time, the local population felt safe and secure from the threat from across the border, from the Chinese threat. And that's the reason, this is another very big reason why there has been a kind of a honeybee kind of a syndrome in which the masses of Arunachal Pradesh, they have coordinated towards the UPA, towards the NDA government, and have thrown out the UPA bag and baggages from Arunachal.
Okay, let me attempt once again to go across to Rungri Nabam. Rungri Nabam, if you're able to hear me now, I was trying to ask you on the performance of the NPP. You have improved your 2019 tally, but obviously fallen way short of the BJP in the state. Mr. Rungri Nabam, can you hear me?
Yes.
I was trying to ask you about your reaction, sir, to the performance of the NPP vis-a-vis the BJP. You bettered your tally from 2019, but are way behind the BJP.
धन्यवाद आप सबको. मुझे बहुत इस चीज को बोल करके आप सबके साथ में जोड़ के मुझे बताने में बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. एनपीपी पार्टी जो है बहुत जोर शोर से काम किया और पिछले बार से हटके काम करने के लिए कोशिश किया और खरा उतरा इस बार. और बीजेपी को इस बार कांग्रेस को छोड़कर जो है बीजेपी को एनपीपी पार्टी ही टक्कर दिया है स्टेट में.
जी बिल्कुल. और अगर हम बात करें रुंगरी नबाम, तो आपने चुनाव अलग लड़ा था आपकी पार्टी ने, बट क्या आप समर्थन अब देंगे बीजेपी सरकार को अरुणाचल प्रदेश में? क्या मिलकर विकास कार्य होंगे? क्या बाहरी समर्थन या फिर अंदर से समर्थन देंगे आप बीजेपी को?
देखिए, इस बात में हम लोग स्टेट टीम जो है ऑलरेडी हम लोग एनडीए के पार्टनर में आते हैं, एनपीपी पार्टी और बीजेपी जो है, लेकिन नॉर्थ ईस्ट में हम लोग नेडा पार्टनर में अलायंस है. तो पिछले बार हम लोगों ने इस चीज को लेकर के समझौता और समर्थन हम लोग ऑलरेडी दे चुका है बीजेपी पार्टी को लेकर के स्टेट में और नेशनल में. तो मुझे लगता है इस चीज को लेकर के हम लोग बहुत जल्द आप लोगों के सामने लेकर आएंगे. समर्थन हम लोग अभी एनडीए के हिसाब से जो नेशनल टीम और हमारे स्टेट टीम जो मिलकर हम लोग डिसीजन लेंगे बीजेपी के साथ में.
क्या वजहों से आपको लगता है ये बड़ी जीत मिली है बीजेपी को? क्या मुख्य वजह है?
देखिए, अरुणाचल प्रदेश में ऐसे है, यहाँ जहां तक हम लोगों का मानना है कि यहाँ जो है पार्टी बेसिस में यूजुअली कोई भी नेता जीत के नहीं आता है. यहाँ सेंट्रल डिपेंडेंट स्टेट है हमारे स्टेट, क्योंकि यहाँ पे रेवेन्यू हमारे स्टेट में आज तक बहुत बाकी स्टेट के कंपैरिजन में बहुत कम है. तो हम लोग सेंट्रल डिपेंडेंट होने के वजह से हम लोगों में ये जो तनाव जो आता है. तो इस बार जो बीजेपी में जो बहुत भारी मात्रा से जो जीत जो हुआ है वो भले ही भारी मात्रा से लेकिन भी कम है हम लोगों का हिसाब से.
जी बिल्कुल. और हम देख रहे हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी बड़ी तरह से पिछड़ गई है अरुणाचल प्रदेश में. 4 सीट मिले थे पिछली बार, वो डाउन हो गए हैं 1 सीट. इसकी कारण क्या है?
देखिए, मैं जैसे अभी आपको बताया, यहाँ सेंट्रल डिपेंडेंट स्टेट है। ये लौता हमारा एक नॉर्थ ईस्ट को लेकर के हमारा इंटायर भारत देश में जो है, ये एक लौता स्टेट है जो सेंट्रल डिपेंडेंट स्टेट है। तो उसी के चलते कल देखिए, अगर इंडिया अलायंस जो है वहाँ गठबंधन बना के सरकार अगर सेंट्रल में बनाएंगे, तो देखिए कल घूम फिर के जाकर के अरुणाचल में भी कांग्रेस का ही सरकार होगा फिर से।
क्या मुख्य कारण था कि आप ये चुनाव अलग लड़े, बीजेपी के संग नहीं लड़े?
देखिए, हमारा एनपीपी पार्टी का हमेशा एक हमारा आइडियोलॉजी है कि हम लोग प्री पोल को हम लोग नहीं करते हैं। हम लोग पोस्ट पोल अलायंस को हम लोग हमेशा रखते हैं, क्योंकि डेमोक्रेटिकली हम लोग जो कुर्सी को लेकर, सत्ता को लेकर के जो पक्षवाद एक दूसरे में बनाना चाहिए वो हम लोग बनाते हैं, और बाद में मिलना होने से इंडिया के पार्टनर के थ्रू से हम लोग डेमोक्रेटिकली डेवलपमेंट को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए हम लोग जोड़ते हैं। हालांकि हम लोग इलेक्शन को हम लोग अपने ही हिसाब से, आप देखिए फ्लैशबैक, आप हमारा शुरुआत से देखिए 2019 से 14 से लेकर के भी हम लोग अपना ही हिसाब से इलेक्शन को लड़के आया है।
कितना काम हो पाया है, कितना काम हो पाया है आपके नज़रिए में जमीनी स्तर पर अरुणाचल प्रदेश में पेमा खांडू और नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व के भीतर?
100 बात में एक बात मैं यही कहना चाहता हूं कि काम हमारे मुख्यमंत्री के हिसाब से जो काम हुआ है, तो हम लोग भी बहुत अप्रिशिएट हैं। यंग और एनर्जेटिक एक युवा नेता होने के नाते उन्होंने प्रदेश को बहुत ही कम समय में चेंजेस लाने के लिए कोशिश किया। तो इस चीज में हम उनको ऐसे साइडलाइन में नहीं कर सकते हैं, हम तारीफ जरूर कर सकते हैं कि उनका लीडरशिप में काम हुआ है हमारा प्रदेश में।
Okay. Let me go back across to Dr. S.K. Dr. S.K. Datta, now as far as, of course, also, the Northeast is concerned, because this is just a trailer. The actual picture we'll see on the 4th of June, when the ballot boxes for the rest of the Northeast open as well, rather the EVM machines. What is likely to be the Northeast overall picture according to you?
Well, Uday, there are total 26 seats in Northeast, if I include Sikkim in it. What I understand is like there is a kind of a super tsunami wave which is happening in Northeast because of the popularity graph of the Honorable Prime Minister and the kind of work which the Modi government has done in relation to Northeast. My understanding is like what we saw today in Arunachal is just a trailer. The actual tsunami is going to come on the 4th. And what I understand is like on the day of the counting on the 4th, I can vouch with a lot of conviction that out of this 26 seats, I think 27 would go to the NDA and to the friendly parties of the NDA. Because why I say friendly party? Because the Sikkim regional party which is there, that is not a part of NDA but definitely friendly towards the initiative of the Honorable Prime Minister. SKM. What I understand is like Congress might have a chance in one of the seats in Northeast, which could be Upper Manipur. And besides that, I do not see any chance for the Congress. The irony is like once upon a time, all these 8 sisters in Northeast, they used to be ruled by a brute majority of the Congress party with almost around 3/4 majority in all the 8 states. And see from where Congress has come down to where today Congress is in a dungeon. In Arunachal Pradesh itself, I remember before 2014, every elections prior to that, Congress is to get around 2/3 to 3/4 majority in Arunachal, and today they are struggling even for a single account seat in Arunachal. That is the glaring reality, that's the glaring reality. The stepmotherly treatment which Congress has given to the Northeast since the last 60 years, that has given such a bad curse on Congress by the electorate of Northeast that today Congress is nowhere. Having said that, in relation to Arunachal itself, the verdict of today is a verdict which is of a crescendo for the Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP has got more than 2/3 majority in the Arunachal Assembly. Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't need any support from anyone. But yes, if NPP is willing to give in support without any conditions attached, unconditionally, then that is always welcome for the proper development and for holistic development of the state of Arunachal.
Okay, let me quickly, in fact, take that back across to Manasvi Thapar as well. Manasvi Thapar, this victory is being read by the BJP as a big win for the PM's Northeast vision, the PM's Northeast focus. Do you also believe that this is a result of that? And also, is this a trailer of what is to come overall for the Lok Sabha as well, vis-a-vis the Northeast?
I think the Look East strategy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and most importantly, the communication Prime Minister Narendra Modi, it's not about the BJP, it's about the personality cult of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which has reached the East with ease, and the kind of the pro-incumbency, as we previously discussed, the pro-incumbency factor is of the Prime Minister. It's less of the Chief Minister, more of the Prime Minister. And the double engine's bigger engine is the Prime Minister, who's the driving force of it. And people connect with him more than the people would connect with Mr. Khandu, who's the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh. Having said that, definitely this is a smaller trailer to what is going to be on 4th. But unlikely, having said that, it's a big win for BJP, and most importantly, why I would say it's a big win is, while they were not there in the Northeast, while they were not there, the continuous efforts since last 10 years which they have done to make sure that they not only get the Lok Sabha seats, but they also focus on the Vidhan Sabha. They create a cadre, they create a strategy, they create specific strategy of Northeast, specifically to each state. And more importantly, what they have also done is they have captured the entire political parties into their own kitty. So they didn't have any traditional local leaders which were predominantly of BJP coming from Northeast. So what they did was they outsourced the leaders, and they had a big brand wagon of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and automatically everything was magnetized in the favor of BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this particular thing is a short outcome of his efforts, of his prime ministership, which the benefit of BJP is going to encash in Arunachal Pradesh. And obviously, on 4th, we'll see the kind of momentum which he has built. And it's going to be a great show for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP.
Also, what's pretty telling there is the collapse of the opposition as well, Dr. S.K. Datta. What explains that in Arunachal?
Well, I think in relation to the opposition was never a united force in any of the northeastern state, and it was neither a united force even in Arunachal Pradesh. What I understand is, like, if all the opposition parties, including the NCP, Congress and the rest, if they would have come together also and would have fought the election as a unified force in Arunachal, then also they would be disseminated. Disseminated because, howling doesn't translate into votes. If you are howling in Twitter and in social media that, it is a leher for the opposition, that does not get reflected in reality. In reality, things which get reflected is the kind of governance. In reality, the things which get reflected is the super law and order. In reality, things get developed, gets reflected is when the government at the center takes a iron to iron kind of a cuddle with China in relation to Arunachal Pradesh. In reality, things get reflected when you have a dynamic young chief minister with the blessings of a super dynamic honorable prime minister. In reality, things get reflected when there is super amount of development Today, there are so many roadways and so many huge expansion of national highways in Arunachal, so much so that the national highway has been expanded right up to Tawang, right up to Khunsa Valley, right up to the last village of Arunachal in the Indo-China border, you know. So that is something which gets reflected. Today, there are so many airports in Arunachal Pradesh. That is something which is getting reflected. Today, the IT network, the digital network in Arunachal Pradesh has crisscrossed the whole state, right from the borders of Assam to the borders of Bhutan, to the borders of Myanmar, to the borders of China, Tibet, you know. So that is something which the people have for the first time got. They never ever saw, they never ever understood about the concept of 5G network. Today, they are enjoying 5G network, you know. Many villages in Arunachal Pradesh, since Indian independence, never saw electricity. You know, the last remote village of Arunachal Pradesh is today getting 24 hours electricity because of the initiative of the Honorable Prime Minister. So these are something which has captured the heart and mind of every Arunachali, like the way it has captured the heart and mind of any Northeastern people. You know, I've stayed in my childhood in Northeast. I know what was the situation in Northeast that time. There used to be terror attacks, there used to be bomb blasts, there used to be communal carnage across nook and corner of Northeast every second day. You know, people used to fear for their life because there was no guarantee that there won't be a bomb blast. There was no guarantee that you will not be shot dead by any of the secessionist, terrorist outfits. All these things are things of the past now. You know, the way Congress tried to, play in divisive politics with the
and now BJP has changed all of that. Rungri Nabam, आखिरी सवाल आपसे, लोकसभा चुनाव के नतीजे आने वाले हैं परसों। एनपीपी की क्या उम्मीद है? आप मेघालय में मैदान में हैं, अन्य राज्यों में भी मैदान में हैं, क्या उम्मीद है? कितनी सीटें आने वाली हैं? क्या प्रदर्शन रहेगा आपकी पार्टी का?
मुझे लगता है जितना भी हमारा उम्मीदवार है, सब लोग जीत करके आना चाहिए।
चलिए, कॉन्फिडेंस है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.